Hello there, you are listening to and watching a brand new feature on the Bundesliga Fanatic, the Team of the Week video format. I'm your host, Abba Mesarosh. I'm an editor at Bundesliga Fanatic, and you can also follow me on Twitter under the handle at BundesPL. So what we thought we would do is pick the best 11, but reveal it in a video format. So without further ado, let's find out who were the 11 best players this weekend on matchday 28 in the Bundesliga. So the Bundesliga has been running with this campaign of goal mania, and it's no surprise that it's very tough as a result to pick goalkeepers because lately it's been very crazy with all the goals scored. This weekend there were two 1-0 matches, but all the other ones had goals, and we actually had I think 4 matches with 5 goals. So goalkeeping is in short supply as it would seem, and so we're just gonna pick. The Freiburg goalie Alexander Schwolow, who gave his team quite the chance against Mainz on several occasions, stopping 5 shots and keeping a clean sheet against a Mainz side that desperately needed the points. But it's safe to say there wasn't a lot of competition. Probably the second place or honorable mention would go to Christian Matenia, who is the backup keeper at Hamburg in their big win against Hoffenheim. So that's the goalkeeping position. Let's move on to defenders. We're going to try to pick 4 of them, starting with David Abraham of Frankfurt. The veteran Argentinian has been the leader of his side. He not only basically got a goal, although was, I think in the replays it was awarded to Mijat Kacinovic in the 2-2 draw against Bremen, but he also had the 3 shots on goal. He won 3 aerials, and his pass success was 87%. And although Frankfurt didn't win against Bremen, they were probably the better team overall, doubling the shots, 16-8. And there was a lot of stellar defensive work on behalf of David Abraham, who also made a whopping 9 interceptions and 5 clearances. So those clearly merit a spot for him, those numbers. And his partner is going to be Yannick Vestergaard from Gladbach. And not only because he scored a goal, which was very important in the 3-2 away win to Köln, but more importantly, he was actually able to win a lot of the duels against Anthony Modeste. I believe he went 6 out of 7 on aerial duels, and Modeste ended the game 2 for 10. So even though Modeste did get on the score sheet with a brilliant volley, that wasn't really much Vestergaard could have done about that. And there was a great pass by Modeste, but overall, Vestergaard had an excellent game in this one, and it's certainly it'd be certainly hard to fault him for basically the good defense, better offense kind of plays that Modeste made. Other than that, Vestergaard hit both of his shots on target. He also had 90% pass completion rate on 105 touches, and from the picture I could see that he was the main hub of their passing game, but their build-up play. And he also led his team with 3 interceptions. So a very, very good performance from the young Dane, who will probably be without his partner Andreas Christensen next year as the 20-year-old is returning to Chelsea. So let's round out the back line with the fullbacks. So on the right side we'll have Stefan Ilsanker, who was probably the man of the match for RB Leipzig in their hard-fought 93rd minute win against Leverkusen. Neil Sanker was a monster defensively with 7 tackles won. Didn't really add that much on offense, but when he's playing against Julian Brandt and the likes of Kevin Foley and Kai Havertz, it's kind of tough. And keep in mind that he was playing as a right back, which is probably not his best position. But 7 tackles, 5 interceptions, 4 clearances, and a block shot. Those are really, really good numbers, and he was a big part of Leipzig's success. And on the left side, we're gonna play the right back for for Freiburg, Lucas Kübler, who I probably don't know too much about. He's a 24-year-old who has only played this season really for Freiburg. He's just over 1,000 minutes now for this season. And in the 1-0 victory over Mainz, he was a star with the assist, that the crazy goal that Niels Pedersen scored. He was the one who whipped that ball in, and then he also contributed on the defense with 7 tackles won, which is again another stunning number. So we'll use him there. You'd also want to add the six clearances that Kübler had for Christian Streich, and Freiburg were as high as 5th until Sunday night when Hertha jumped them. But still, if the season ended today, they'd be in Europe, which is staggering. So let's move on to the midfield, where we are going to go with a 5-man midfield, starting with Mo Dahoud, who was probably the man of the match in the quietly, but in the Köln Gladbach derby, where he led both teams in touches, with about a the final number is courtesy of Scouted Football, who you should follow on Twitter. 121 touches, 89 passes completed, 85% accuracy, 4 or 5 out of 10 tackles, and 2 for 5 take-ons, 1 key pass, and 1 assist. Obviously, Dortmund fans should be salivating at those kind of numbers, given that that was an area where they started very poorly, and they were forced to play Sebastian Rode at some point in the Klassiker. But I digress. So joining Dahoud in our team of the week lineup in the middle is Almo Cohen of Ingolstadt, who was probably the architect of the comeback against Darmstadt, and probably the one of the wackiest matches of this one, where Ingolstadt had a 23-10 shots advantage, but needed a furious rally after being a goal up. The opening goal that Cohen provided the assist on a wonderful counter to Pascal Gross, who we'll talk about later. And then they gave up two goals to Mario Rancic in like 6 minutes, but Cohen led the comeback by kind of having a shot blocked and then recovering from 6-yard box off of a set piece. A little bit fortunate there, and then later on Marco Züttner finished things off. So he's been playing really well. The Israeli 28-year-old. It's probably safe to say that he's been the best player, not only because he has 7 goals now for Ingolstadt, but he's been a very steady influence going forward, and then putting in some defensive work as well with 2.5 tackles, 2 interceptions per match. So let's put him in the team of the week. Let's get some wingers on as well. Arjen Robben, who basically obliterated Dortmund in their Klassiker. Marcel Schmeitzer, but he's still having nightmares. So a couple of fun Robben stats for you is that he had 8 dribbles completed at 8 shots, and the 8 dribbles completed actually would rank him 3rd among all teams this weekend, behind, I believe, Frankfurt and Leverkusen, or Gladbach and Leverkusen. I'm sorry. So Robben was probably the easiest choice on the board. And then on the right side, we're going to put Pascal Gross, who had 8 key passes in the Ingolstadt comeback, and 3 of them came off of set pieces, and 5 were from open play, which is excellent news. It's nice to see him playing really well again after a couple of substitute appearances, and he's arguably the most important player for Ingolstadt. And then he also scored his first goal, so that's always really nice. And I am always willing to use any excuse to put Pascal Gross into the team of the week. First goal in I think since February. He scored before, obviously against Hamburg as well. So another attacking player is Aaron Hunt, who mentioned Hamburg before, who used 2 goals to beat Hoffenheim almost single-handedly, and probably has been their best player despite playing around 1,000 minutes this season. He's averaging 1.7 key passes, and he's already got 4 goals despite missing a late penalty. And yeah, a couple of those goals are from penalties as well. But Hunt's been massive for Hamburg this year. Basically as a very creative wide / central player, and especially in the wake of disappointing seasons by Filip Kostic and Nikolai Miller's injuries. This is a player that was as good as gone during the winter break to Turkey, and was able to stay. And I think Hamburg are glad that has happened. So our midfield is Arjen Robben, Aaron Hunt, Almo Cohen, Mo Dahoud, and Pascal Gross. And that means we have already completed most of the lineup, but we just need a forward, and that there's some competition, but I think it was fairly clear that Anthony Modeste was a good choice, but ultimately I decided against him. Robert Lewandowski, of course, could make this any day of the week, and yeah, he was great against Dortmund as per usual. But we'll actually give this one. And then Frank Ribery also had a nice case, but we'll give this one to Guido Burgstaller, who single-handedly almost dominated Wolfsburg by himself. It was physical and technical mismatch. Basically, just being able to hit Wolfsburg on the counters and using the defensive instability of Wolfsburg with Robin Knoche and Luis Gustavo looking like a couple of Regional League players. Burgstaller was impressive, and he surprised me with his quickness and physicality, and because normally when you kind of think of Zweite Liga players, even though he's the top scorer there still, you don't really think of him, but he adjusted well. He's got 6 goals now in the Bundesliga, and he's able to keep up his shots per game numbers. Almost it's dropped about one little, like about from 3.6 to about 2.5, but he's able to contribute other ways. He's averaging about 0.8 key passes and dribbles per game, and gets fouled a lot. So it'll be very, very interesting and I think it's probably going to be one of the reasons why Klaas-Jan Huntelaar won't stick around. So that's pretty much the team of the week for Matchday 28. I hope you've enjoyed this new feature. And you can obviously follow our work at the Bundesliga Fanatic. You can also follow us on Twitter at Bundesliga4U, or you can also follow my work under the handle BundesPL. Thank you very much for listening, and let us know in the comment section how you felt about the new format and whether you have any other opinions or questions as well. Thanks.